what's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and I'm gonna be doing back-to-back reviews for this TNA Wrestling review. Starting off first with this TNA Impact results from February 29th, 2024. So let's not waste any time, folks. Let's just get right into it. This is the uh the follow-up, the fallout pertains to happen at TNA No Surrender 2024. Starting off first, just to get this out of the way. I don't know if this was announced, before the show started, or when the show began. I should say, I don't know, but former MLW star who is known as Alexander Hammerstone, now going by Alex Hammerstone, has now officially signed with TNA Wrestling. That's right, the cosplayer wrestler who cosplay any type of wrestling moves and all that, and Alex Hammerstone that I saw of him, yeah, he's pretty good. Minus the whole thing that what he said, which Omega Red is why he's you know doesn't want to give any praise of him whatsoever, but just want to get that out of the way with that whole thing. Of Alex Hammerstone, I'm excited to see him what he do for TNA Wrestling, but at the same time, what tends to what TNA Wrestling is going to bring to the table, Scott D'Amore being there, we'll see how they things are be shaping up for TNA moving forward. Still think it's a dumb decision that they did that, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So we gotta move on. At the end of the day, folks, it sucks. Speaking of what sucks too, they did acknowledge two passings, unfortunately, of pro wrestling legends, of Ole Anderson, the founder of the Four Horsemen, and Virgil, or Vincent, which I want to say, Michael Jones, pertains to what he's done for the wrestling business as well. So rest in peace to Ole Anderson, and rest in peace to Michael Jones, aka Virgil. So we get to the opening show here of the match with Mike Bailey versus Steve Macklin. Mike Bailey's being accompanied by Trent Seven, and Steve Macklin's being accompanied by the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. In the match, I thought pretty decent, with Steve Macklin getting the win. Now, what was there, a match like this without any shenanigans involved? And that's basically what we got in this match. But it ends up being a pretty decent match at the end of the day. All of a sudden, we get Steve Macklin on the mic and saying that Nick Nemeth is never coming back to TNA Wrestling after what he did to him, from in Puerto Rico from WWC. All of a sudden, we see Nick Nemeth showing up on the screen, basically the follow up of after he won the IWGP Global Championship away from Finley the Rebel back in the New Beginning in Nagoya. So Nick Nemeth said he's going to be returned to TNA and he wants to challenge Steve Macklin at TNA Sacrifice, which I'm pretty sure we're going to have a Sacrifice Rules match. Unless they want to say that for the TNA World Championship match. We shall see. Alright, it's just me knocking No Surrender match that they did for No Surrender 2024. So we'll see what they do with this though. That's pretty much it. Then we get to the follow-up what happened with Frankie Kazarian, where he's being stopped by securities, and then we see Jalen Miller interviewing or basically letting the king of TNA and Frankie Kazarian to let him know that he's suspended and he's barred from entering the building. I don't know if how long the suspension is going to be. They didn't really acknowledge of how long the suspension is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be just for that 1 week. I guess I'll find out once I get a chance to watch the next episode of TNA Impact, which I haven't got a chance to see yet, but I'll get to that when I get to it. And yeah, that's pretty much it from there. But basically, Frankie Kazarian, he was upset at first, and everything, and he decided, to take that punishment and leave, and that was it. Then we get to Laredo Kid versus Jake Something. Match didn't last that long, but Jake Something isn't winning. It was for what it was still a good match, but at the end of the day, yes, Jake Something wins, and there you go. Not much to say about it. Then we get Oh yeah. Then we get to this segment, the sound check. That's the show that Alan Angels has been doing as of late, and his guest was Kong, his former partner, former member of what Teenage to the design. So you have Alan Angels had two securities that he could pay for, and because he didn't want any more of any trouble from his last show of the sound check, what tends to happen with Josh Alexander and Simon Gotch. So that's why he decided to have to hire securities, even though there's only two securities, and basically it was the whole thing about Kong. It was a match against PCO from No Surrender, and all of a sudden we're getting some technical difficulties, which it was running technical difficulties because it was the French Frankenstein PCO showing up, and you're now Kong, even though Kong's right there, but he's the way they did it was just silly. So I don't remember what happened to Alan Angels, but Kong took him away or something like that. And then the securities were trying to stop it, whatever. All of a sudden we see Kong and PCO going to basically have a stalemate, and then they'll charge it to each other because this whole thing is not over yet. And then they just cut it. That was it. The whole thing was silly. It was ridiculous. All this just to set up the second match they're gonna have, which I'm pretty sure is gonna be at Sacrifice. Then we get to AJ Francis and Diener teaming up here against Rich Swann and Joe Hendry teaming up here as well. Joe Hendry cut a promo. The less I'll say it, the better. But basically, in short, he basically says retains to please do not cheer or chant, I should say, do not chant AJ sucks. And no, people, he's not talking about AJ Styles. But match happens. I thought it was decent for what it was, but I didn't really care for that much. Rich Swann and Joe Hendry ends up winning. Basically, I think Diener obviously Diener took the loss there, and Rich Swann took the win, and that was basically it for that one. I don't remember what happened after the match, but yeah, so much for that. Decay, they're they want to go after the tag titles again MK Ultra, because they have a rematch clause. So we'll see what happens with that whole thing, because we have Danny Lunar and Jody Dredd. They want a shot on the tag titles too. So we'll see what they do with that though. So it wasn't really much to say about it, but Gia Miller, she interviews Josh Alexander pertains to his upcoming match against Alex Hammerstone for Sacrifice. I think it's for Sacrifice, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, I think it is actually, because also we get the most boringest content that we ever get in TNA, even during the time what was Impact Wrestling as well. Dirty Dongle with Alpha Bravo and Oleg Prudius, the former Vladimir Kozlov. Vladimir, I should say, Vladimir Kozlov. Didn't care what we'll say here because it was Dirty Dongle. The less I'll say it, the better. Basically, the match ends up being where it's going to be Dirty Dongle versus Josh Alexander. I cannot wait to see that match. And I'm being sarcastic with that. That's not until the next show, which I'll get to when I get a chance to see it. And then I'll review that one. Then we get to the Good Hands as they do an introduction for the new TNA Exhibition Champion, Mustafa Ali. And he's being led by his personal securities. And he addresses the TNA fans, saying that at No Surrender, they made the championship great again, which is to the Exhibition Championship. Ali is about to issue his first executive order. Also, we get Chris Sabin coming out and interrupts, and Sabin dares him to step out of from behind the podium and speak to him like a man. Chris Sabin then also talks to to Ali about while they both all believe in change, that is where their similarity is. Where it ends basically. Chris Sabin says that while he says he looks to inspire others to achieve the dreams. and Ali manipulates others to think that to allow people to do his dirty work, like the good hands, pretty much. Um, but Saban also gives credit to the good, like I said, he gives credit to the good hands, even though the good hands didn't really have much hands into it, because if that was the case, then the good hands would have been the reason for you know for Mustafa Ali to winning the title, but that wasn't the case at all. If anyone's seen the preview, you know what I'm talking about, because the match still continued on despite the good hands getting involved, and the good hands wasn't really didn't have really any good hands in helping out Mustafa Ali to win the title either way. So, but Ali fires back and says that the reason Saban lost is because he didn't have any supports. And then Saban says that he is not here to debate. He's not here to fight. As he and no, I'm sorry. He said he's not here to fight. Mary tries again, and I'm not gonna edit that part out. I'm gonna keep it there because Botchamania, right? Which I doubt that. But what I was gonna say is he's not here to debate. He's here to fight. As he hits Mustafa Ali, and then all of a sudden all hell's break loose. Chris Sabin gets jumped. Kushida and Kevin Knight comes out, and they make the save. And there you go. That's the ceremony. All of a sudden, we get the personal consular, consular, how would we say it? Basically pertains to this um what's his name? Is that his name? George Iceman? Okay. At least I think that's his name. I don't really want to check. But anyways, um, basically, the one who's there to hype up Ash by Elegance, and basically says that he has a huge announcement that Ash by Elegance will have her second match in TNA. Great. Moving on, Mustafa Ali warns Chris Sabin and Kushida and Kevin Knight of their actions will have consequences. So that's probably going to lead to a 6-man tag team match on the show, which I'm pretty sure that's what's going to end up being. Tasha Steelz versus Saya Brookside. Now, this is not just any rubber match between these two, because Saya Brookside with one win, and Tasha Steelz with 1 win from each other. So this was going to be the tiebreaker. This is going to be the ending of this feud in a way, which that ended up not being the case. But here's why: because this was going to be where the winner gets to face Jordan Grace for the TNA Knockouts World Championship at Sacrifice. So they had this match, and this match ended by a double countout. And before that even happened, just want to say that the match itself was decent, and I'm thinking to myself, because I heard this was going to be for the title, I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm pretty sure they're not going to have Cyborg try to lose here, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to have Tasha Steelz lose here as well. So what was the best solution to do this? They did a double countout. Now, I wasn't expecting a double countout. I was expecting maybe a time limit draw, something like that. Maybe it just depends how it was going to be. I would have loved to see it would been a draw like that, but no, they decided to go with a double countout instead. I'm pretty sure these two could pull out a very good match for one another if they get the time to do so. So because of this, Jordan Grace comes out. She announces that she's going to defend it against both of them in a 3-way match. And before she even got to say it, you already had the crowd saying triple threat, even though that's not what TNA Wrestling is calling on this the 3-way matches. That's WWE's thing. WWE's thing is the triple threat, but same time that's basically what we got. So, and there you go. Now I think coming out of this, I think we're going to see Tasha Steelz and Sarah Brookside to be a tag team. I think that's what it's going to lead to. I could be wrong, but we shall see how this turns out once we get to Sacrifice. And we're probably not going to answer at Sacrifice either, but I'm just saying. Then we get to the main event. I'm assuming this was the main event. Yes, it was. The System, which is the TNA World Champion Moose, team up with Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, with Elizabeth Edwards at ringside to take on Eric Young, who is the number one contender to face Moose for the TNA World Championship at Sacrifice, teaming up with the tag team champions of TNA Wrestling, Ace Austin and Chris Bay, ABC, Stu Part Bullet Club, by the way. So the match happens. Ends up being a decent match, and then picked it up where it ends up being a very good match. And then in the end, it was the System getting the win. And I believe it was Brian Myers getting the win, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he may have been Chris Bay. So because of that, I'm assuming because of that, we're going to get Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards to face ABC for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. So that way, they could have, the System to wear all the golds, which is probably why they didn't have the Grizzly Young Vets win. It's part of the reason why they didn't have them win the belts. So that's pretty much how the match is going to be set up. So, and there you go, folks. That was the show. So, that will conclude your TNA Impact results for this TNA Wrestling review from February. What was the date again? I already forgot the date. I'm pretty sure it was the 29th. Then again, it probably was the 28th, something like that. But let me double check. The 29th of 2024. The Toma Wrestling was four matches, I think it was. Let's say it was 5 matches, which I will double check again. We'll change to that. Yes, it actually was 5 matches. So, and my overall rating for the show, pertains to the fallout of No Surrender to the show of TNA Wrestling's TNA Impact. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Could be a little better, but that's basically what I can give you. So there you go. And that being said, I'm gonna wrap up from here. So thank you for watching. The next time you see me doing a TNA Wrestling review, it'll probably be like later on of the night, which we shall see. Or I could save it for tomorrow night instead. Either way, you'll be getting your TNA Wrestling reviews and routines to TNA Sacrifice, because I'm assuming, based on what I saw some results about TNA Sacrifice, so I'm assuming the show already happened. So, we shall see. But you'll find out once I do the next review, which I gotta watch the show first, obviously. So tune in for that one. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other. God bless. For it's Natural Born Driller. As I say, peace on the streets, all be well. Stay safe. Take care of yourself and everything that's going on in the world. For I will be out here for now. So ta-ta. And there you go. So that was your TNA Wrestling review pertaining to TNA Impact results from February 29th, 2024. And fuck Bruce Pritchard.